you already know when I get to the studio, I gotta put my song on blast here, so. Hold up. Alright, I'm gonna show you here a little tip slash trick that many people probably don't know about. And this is something I'll just rap over my first song, but I'll keep it with a beat only, and then I'll make up like some freestyle lyrics. So here, let me get into it as I pull this up. So people really don't know that in general, there's a bunch of artists, well, every artist that ever existed, you know, at least who's trying to be professional. Maybe they all might not, but for example, any artist that you know that's big name, Sabrina Carpenter, Demi Lovato, literally anyone who's a Billboard artist, or even like a C or D tier artist, anyone who is signed to a label at bare minimum. They all are doing this one tip slash trick that allows them to get super far within the music industry when it comes to vocal work. All right, so for example, take a listen to this real quick. Here's the beat. Hold up. All right, so for example, just take a listen to the beat here. All right, and we'll come in there now, where that little bit of a came down on bar 5, or beat 5, I should say. And let's go and record some vocals, and let me show you exactly what's happening here. All right, so I recorded a whole freestyle. I'm not here to show a whole freestyle. I'm just gonna show like, gonna show you a few tips and tricks that you don't know that your artist does. So to start it off, I'm gonna show you till maybe beat 9 here or so.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. It's going ooh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's Jay Fresh back from the crib. I'm kicking.
You know what? I'll give it a few more beats.
I don't want to pounce, but I already am in the sand.
All right, so you heard that. Now let me show you a little tip and trick that artists do all the time. Okay, so here we are, beats off, vocals only. Let's play it again.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. It's going ooh, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's Jay Fresh back from the crib. I'm kicking it, yeah, down in the center. I don't want to pounce, but I already am in the sand.
So I'm not sure if you saw that or heard it, but what was going on there is there were some cracks, like clicks slash pops is what I mean, like from your jaw, because your jaw is never perfect.
In the sand. I'm in the sand and I'm bouncing hard. I got a bouncy ball that lives in the front yard. Y'all don't ever see me just fill it on up, because even when it's deflated, it's still tough. If it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce. You know what I'm talking about. There has to be no air.
But okay, so you heard me take a breath there. I was just waiting for the air to be obvious enough. But anyways, though, so the thing is, this. So many artists will actually, like, I don't know, Tate McRae, whatever. Like I said, I don't know why I'm just naming female artists, but it's what I'm doing right now. Anyway, so what they'll do is this. They'll come on in, you know, now they actually have, you know, when they're in the studio, they're not doing 2-person's job. I'm doing a 2-person's job currently in my life. I don't have the financial needs to have another person to help me out. But anyways, so here we are.
Yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. It's going ooh.
Oh, let's just say that. Let's just say this is out, not pitched right. This oh, I don't know why I did that. I like this song, so I'm not gonna cut the entire thing. I don't know the lyrics, but here I know that. Oh, that's quite obvious. Cut. Oops. Cut. Hold up 1 second. Now we have a song where we're missing the
yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. It's going
anyways though, so the thing is, when you do this for real, you want to make sure you fade in and fade out where the main clips are, because you heard there's a little bit of a cut there. I was about to say the you know, sing that line, but
it's going
that would obviously not sound good in a song if you heard the cut. So what they'll do here is also, but first, let me get back to the mic and re-record it, because that's the first tip and trick. They would actually stop here and be like, okay, bar 7, Tate, but in real time they'll listen and hear it in real time and be like, hey, Tate, that word was off. We're gonna go back and have you redo it. But they'll start, like a beat or two beats earlier, most likely, so she can get back into the rhythm, and then be like, sing the lyrics up until that word in her head, and then that way she could get back into the mojo and sing the lyrics again with the right performance. So let me just fill it in here quick. All right, so here we are. First off, with a beat.
Styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. It's going, yeah, it's Jay Frage back from the crib. I'm picking it, down in the center. I don't want to pounce, but I already am in.
So we just heard it now with, there being a filler, with me filling in the gaps. And so the thing is, of course, every song always has a beat playing with it. Sabrina never is like a cappella only. Or if it is a cappella, there's still some sort of a beat behind it. Why? To make it interesting, and also to hide the airs that are still going to be hidden or that would be revealed in a cappella. Because here's the honest truth. Every track has airs in it, no matter how good the mixing team is, because we're all human. We aren't perfect. So we're all going to have a little bit of a click. And so there are tools in this world that people use. And for example, Clarity, this tool right here that I just whipped out, is a tool that people use. And there's many different kinds of tools like these. There's never just a one tool everybody uses. Everybody has their own thing. But you would just turn it on, and you wouldn't want to overdo it where you take out all the air in the room. But you would make it sound more like a studio, even though I'm currently in a studio and whatnot. It would make it even sound more studio-like, because of course there's air by the mic. But here's the thing.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown.
So that was with Clarity on, and
oh yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown. Oh.
It's not the easiest thing to notice, I won't lie. It's very subtle, but it makes vocals sound more professional.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam, it's gonna make me blast into the unknown.
And there's better tools than what I'm using. I'm just using what I got. But the thing is, so first off, they use tools like that. And I'll turn this off here so you hear the raw imperfections again. Next, remember how we said there's a little crack there, right? And you can hear it without the beat. Watch this.
It's going, oh.
You could still hear it. Like, if I turn this off.
It's going,
you hear it, but here it blends with the, oh, with me singing.
It's going, oh.
I've never listened to that without the beat. Anyways, here we are. Back in business. So, yes. So what do artists do? Number one, like I said, they'll fade things and fade things out. Like I said, we had that little click there. Okay, boom.
It's going, oh.
Let me just kill this so you can understand how. And you can choose how much you fade in, but you get the idea. You don't hear that click anymore. See, it's gone now. And that's what they do with breaths also. They'll fade them in, they'll fade them out, and they keep subtle breaths in there to make it sound like, where it's not like overly done where you cut every single breath of an artist in a song, but they don't keep obvious stuff. Like, that would be too obvious of a noise. They would probably make you redo that part depending on how close the words are together with that breath. But anyways, though, so yeah, that's what I'm really here to show you. There's no perfect takes. You fill them in with other comps, and that's what it's called. It's called comping, where you record a take multiple times to get everything to sound good. And plus, also your artists, this is probably more known, but artists will actually double their vocals. So they'll sing the same line maybe in the verse 2 times. That seems to be the common thing. And then in the chorus, to make it feel more wide, 4 or more times, or they might keep it 2 or 3. But for myself, so far, I've been a guy who likes to keep the chorus with 4 layers. And this is because then they can send the layers outwards. Let me just show you here quick. Fruity Stereo Enhancer, like, Now I'm separating the, let's say 34%. Listen to this.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam. It's going to make me blast
then-
into the unknown. It's going. Ooh, woo, woo. Yeah, it's just.
Anyways, that's what we have learned. Here's just the thing with the beat over it.
Oh yeah, the styrofoam. It's going to make me blast into the unknown. It's going.
Okay, I don't like that part, but here's this.
Y'all don't understand that already.
Technical difficulties.
I'm in the sand and I'm bouncing hard. I got a bouncy ball that lives in the front yard. Y'all don't
But yeah, y'all see, this is how you make a track. But something I also just want to quickly say is those clicks, those pops, there's what I call, at least in my music career, 3 tiers. Very subtle, meaning you just don't ever hear it. Like, unless you're listening to vocals only, you're not going to hear the click or pop. Then you got the medium, which is like, yeah, doesn't really show with a beat, but in the vocals, it's like, you know, it's more obvious. Like, you wouldn't miss it ever if you were listening without the beat, if that makes sense. It would be like, oh, if I'm listening to vocals only, I hear that click every single time. Because when it's subtle, sometimes you psychologically can block it out. And then if it's like super obvious, I don't know what that name would be for that tier. It would be like, even with a beat, I'm hearing a or something, a k. Well, that's a K sound, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, thanks for the video, or thank you guys for watching the video.